craziness continues, and I want to share with you a few things to get you thinking just a little bit about what we should focus on, what's important, what's happening, because this stuff's going to gain momentum and we have to stay focused. I'll share with you what that is. Let's talk about Trump. Let's talk about Elon Musk. Let's talk about the Olympics. Yeah, I'm going to share a few things with you that you may or may not agree with, but the bottom line is, where are we going with all of this? And what control do we have over it? Way more than you think. Let's go. Welcome to Landria, Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears and live an amazing life. Well, as amazing as it can be on this planet, because constant challenges is what allows you the opportunity to evolve. Without them, we just sit around and eat bonbons. I don't know anybody who's actually doing that. Let's start with, please subscribe. When you do that, oh boy, do I get promoted out there. And as you know, I always give you messages of empowerment, of how to raise your frequency, ways to change your life. Everything I do is to help you get this in check, get your income in check. Planet Conscious Businesses, it's a free video. I'm writing books, helping you. Everything I do, this is very important, everything that I do is with you in mind. How do I improve the world? How do I improve the world? Now, we're going to talk about Trump, Musk, and the Olympics. What do they have in common? Quite a bit, actually. And that is, are we changing for the better, or are we repeating the old patterns of the same old that sounds really good sometimes until you realize, wait a minute, it's nothing new. It's still division, which is separation, which is not bringing us into oneness, which is not really improving the world at all. So you need to make a decision at some point of what you're going to do with your life. You don't get out of that. You need to do that. But where you place your attention is going to entangle you with that out there that's continually pumping us full of information, media programming, messages, arguments to get you going to go back into the density in the basement. And that is exactly where we want to get out of if we want to live that amazing, beautiful life. That is the ultimate goal, right? Is it for you? It is for me. So I want to share something with you. Two doves had babies. I'm going to show it right now, right next to my desk. And they've trusted me. And beautiful things are happening. Despite everything else, the world continues on. So I wanted to share that with you because it's just amazing to watch them and realize that we can't stop anything. We have to allow what's going to play out to play out. Now let's talk about the Olympics. Whether you liked the Paris shows or not, I thought they were amazing. And then we took it to LA. What happened when it passed off to LA? Well, we had Tom Cruise coming down from the ceiling and then riding his motorcycle out, supposedly getting on a plane and then parachuting into Los Angeles. And then what happened? He passed the Olympic flag off to people who went down the streets of Hollywood and then went out on the beach, and then it went, in my opinion, downhill from there. Why? Well, and again, this is my opinion, and I'm not judging it, right or wrong. I just see things that aren't changing, that are not upgrading us to a view on the world that could be different and beautiful. And there are so many ways to do that. But if you watched the handoff to Los Angeles and you saw some of the, let's just say, less than appealing, in my opinion, acts that were on the beach and I felt were disrespectful to women, I felt like we haven't changed all that much, and I was embarrassed for us. You might have loved it. But I want you to look at what's happening. Ask yourself if things are changing toward a higher frequency of unity and respect, or if we're staying in that space to get attention, power, and control. Now, Trump was on X live with Elon Musk. It took them, 40 minutes they had difficulties. I didn't listen to it. 40 minutes they had difficulties. And the joke is that when DeSantis, our governor here in Florida, tried to do that for his campaign, Trump absolutely reamed him and said that it was a disaster and technical difficulties and all that stuff, which, by the way, is Elon Musk's control, his company, not DeSantis. But look at what happened to Trump. Now, why am I bringing this? It's not that I'm taking any sides, because you know I'm taking none, because I feel like we don't have any really viable good choices. I refuse to vote for anything that I don't feel is a viable choice. That's my choice, right? I'm American. We're supposed to have some freedoms here, and that is also to not vote. Now, that means, yes, I'm handing it off to the people who are voting. I'm okay with that. But I personally refuse to step into those spaces that I cannot support or feel they are positive that I want to entangle with. It's just like anything. If you're around negative energy, as the Dalai Lama says, step away, right? So what I want you to understand right now is I've done several videos now on words, and to listen to them and listen to what people are saying, how they're saying it, and if they are creating separation or conflict. And if they are on a lower frequency. It doesn't matter what the conversation is. I want you to just think about everything as a frequency. You can't hear what they're saying, you just see a frequency. Division, making fun, all this other stuff, getting together, we're going to do this, we're going to team up, the richest man in the world is going to team up with Trump. Is that good? Is that positive? Is that really for the people? We're going to find out, aren't we? But here's what I want you to know. It's up to you. We are the people. And it's like I tell people, if you complain about fast food and you're still going through fast food places, you're the one that's creating the fast food places. If we stopped going to fast food, they'd be out of business. They'd have to go create something healthy if that's what we chose. Everything that you support, including where you place your attention, is fueling it. That means if you see controversy and you don't like it, and you don't like how it makes you feel, if you're still watching it, you're creating it. That's a fact. That's quantum physics. If you don't like it, then you come over here and you focus on how can I improve the world? How can I improve my health? How can I clean up my environment? How can I stop using plastic? And you get totally consumed with that. You will create that world. That is a fact. There are parallel universes, parallel dimensions. Everything exists all at once, right here. It's not some other place. It's right here. Okay? Everything is right here. We see separation just so that we can function without our minds being blown. But it is a fact that endless dimensions exist. Not 11. I saw Billy Carson supposedly said 11. Where'd they come up with that number? Oh, no, it's 3. Now it's 4. Now it's 5. It's unlimited. Hello, McFly. So what I want you to know is that no matter what we go through, and no matter who you side with, because you are taking a side, you're making a choice, and that is your privilege as a human being. It's okay. You don't need to judge the other. You don't need to make the other one bad to be good. You've heard me say this before. Remember I said in my last video, oh, I love my spouse, I love my spouse, and you get a divorce and you go, oh, they're horrible. Wait a second. They don't have to be horrible. It was an experience. Did you learn from it? You made that choice, and you don't like how it turned out, so now all of a sudden you make them bad. I told you, a friend moved to Florida from Atlanta. We love Atlanta. We love Atlanta. And all of a sudden she's dissing Atlanta. So why are you dissing Atlanta? What happened? Because she had to make Florida better. She had to make Atlanta bad to make Florida right. You don't have to do that. All right? The Olympics, embarrassing handoff. In my opinion, I felt that it was degrading to women and put America in a light that is just this self-absorbed kind of culture that I think is actually changing, but it doesn't mean it isn't just because you see it on your screen there. And this is why we got to watch the media. Just because that one performance was pretty embarrassing doesn't mean That's what's going on over here. I want you guys to remember that. Do not be tainted, because this is how people come in conflict with one another or get opinions about things that they know nothing about. We are doing amazing things, and I know you are. We're creating planet conscious businesses. People with money, you're complaining about them. They. No, me, what am I going to do? Oh, guess what? Ooh, you might actually have to put some effort in. What if you created something you absolutely loved, doing amazing things, and then it was you and him and her, and I have students coming on all the time. We're adding people, and guess what? We're growing and growing and growing this space where we're doing amazing positive things for the planet. All of us. Imagine, I'll give you an example. One of my students, this is the change you have to focus on, and not this. Imagine Elon Musk, he created his stuff, right? He focused completely on that. Look what he did. One of my students lost her son, age 19. He was actually a professional wakeboarder, and he drowned. Nobody knows why. But she decided part of her business that she's going to create, some of it's helping people transform past grief of all kinds. And she's going to bring in some really cool techniques, healing techniques. But we also discussed, what can we do? How can we take that tragedy? How can you take these negative things, turn it into something good? Well, we have to take action to create the balance of the positive frequency, right? Otherwise, we stay in a world that's going to hell in a handbasket. So we have to raise the frequency. I said, what if we created something that was going to contribute to the good of our oceans? So we created a product, and it not only would help people and be sustainable, but a portion of it will go to clean up the waterways, and she loved it. So we're working on that. That's the kind of stuff we're doing. If you imagine it, then I say, let's find those people who are going to help us, fund us, help design certain things. You can do it. I don't want to hear any excuses anymore. I'm sorry. No more excuses, because this exists for you. So you're tuning into all that stuff and saying, they're going to do this and they're going to do this. It's like, what are you going to do? It's all about us now, because these next 4 years till that next Olympic, we're going to live in a completely different world. I guarantee you that. I see big things happening, and we will be living in a different world by the time the Olympics come to Los Angeles. And hopefully it won't be embarrassing. Hopefully we will present ourselves as something really cool, and not something that's going to get people attention in a bad way. And some reporters said that Trump was slurring his words. I told you this before, and we know it's a fact. We're all going to die, right? These older leaders will die at some point, and then we have to have some new voices that step in. Who are they? Start looking around. Will you be the next voice? Oh, is that too big for you? No, it's not. All things are possible. Every single person who's created anything started with a thought. That chair was a thought. Everything has created from a thought, and that's manifestation, and you can be that. So we've got all kinds of supposed conspiracies, from the Secret Service to that whole incident with Trump. Who knows what's behind all of this? But I guarantee you there's going to be some great unrest from people in the basement who want to oppose others. No opposition, no opposition. There are no enemies. And if you use that word, you're telling me that you are separating yourself from the very thing that you are, that is your best teacher. And as a high frequency person, that's how you must look at all of those people that create controversy. It's the opportunity for you to create something great. That's all it is. It doesn't matter who's in the White House. It doesn't matter who takes over, who has all the money in the world. When we demand through our peaceful actions and purchases and everything else something higher and better and compassionate community, when we demand that through our actions, that will have to respond to it, or else it goes out of business. You may say, no, it won't, they'll do this and that. No, that's not true, and I'm talking about the majority of people. There will be nothing else but community when we start that movement of peace and inclusion and love, but demonstration of what can be done, not giving that attention. We are not going to approve. We are not going to say it's okay to act a certain way. We're just going to observe it and say, how do I counterbalance this? And that's your task. No judgment, my friend. Opinion, you can have an opinion. Having an opinion doesn't mean a judgment. It's just, this is what I like, this is what I believe in. I don't need to make that wrong. Okay? So I have no problem with the Republicans, the Democrats. I think it's really sad that we have two choices that are so opposed to one another. And in our new world, we're going to have smaller communities where we have local governments that make decisions with the people. We're going to be able to pick and choose through many choices, and that's going to be the critical key. So, watch who's criticizing somebody else, because paybacks are you-know-what. And that's what's going to happen to every single person who points fingers to somebody else. It's going to come straight back at you, and I've seen this many, many times. Watch what you put out there. You're making fun of somebody, it might be you in that situation very shortly after. Point fingers at no one but here. Let's do our job. We are creating planet-conscious businesses. You can do this. You can be a solopreneur. You don't have to know anything. You don't have to have a passion. We find it. We find what you love, and we create multiple income streams around it, and we have a real business strategy. A real business. Not make money, chase money. Let's get away from that. Let's do things that are going to change the world. That's when abundance is going to flow to you, because the key to success with money, online, in businesses, just that alone, is loving what you do, being passionate about it. That's why Elon Musk is the wealthiest man. He believed so greatly in what he was doing and creating. And he continues to do that. He goes after his passions. Don't knock that. Find yours. All right? No more pointing fingers out here. These are free. If you are struggling with your fear, come on over. I teach a course. There's a free webinar. The webinar alone may help you. And I have emails to help you get past that. All right? You guys, please subscribe. Tell YouTube you want more messages of empowerment. You want more messages that we hold the power, that nobody takes your energy. It's impossible. We are equal, shared, seemingly individuals of one source. And it's just exploring. Explore it well, celebrate it, experience. Do not say this is wrong. Say, what am I going to learn from this? How can I be better? How can I apply it with my student? How can I apply a death of a beautiful son? How can I use that to change others' lives? We're doing it. Join us. All right? So all that stuff that's going on, doesn't matter. None of it really matters. Maybe it's entertainment for you. Watch that entertainment. It's going to play with your mind, and it's meant to. You are whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you, my friend. Namaste.